High hopes and short ropes, I try to change my scope. Hope you do too. Drunk nights and fist fights, I'm down by the bright lights. Hope you are too. I'm gonna learn me my lesson and move on. I wanna keep on loving till the loving's gone. I'm gonna learn me my lesson and move on. I'm gonna keep on loving till the loving's gone. I'm gonna learn me.
Hi, my name is Abhi Golhar, and I'm with Oakwood Lending. You can reach us at oakwoodlending.com. And I've been with TRIA since 2012. I'm located in Raleigh, and I've bought over 150 houses, so I've got plenty of experience to help you if you need a second set of eyes. When we do our loans, we don't require a loan application fee. We rarely require an appraisal. We don't charge draw fees on it. We have a quick turnaround time, usually responding within 24 hours. We're okay to do small loans. So if you have any questions or comments or just want to send a loan application, we do loans in North Carolina. We are private hard money lenders. Again, my name is Abhi Golhar with Oakwood Lending.
Hello, everyone. My name is Melvin Williams, and I've been a member of TRIA for almost 3 months now. And the reason I joined TRIA was to learn more about trying to be an investor and also learning from some active experienced investors. Again, I am a new member and I'm as green as a spring leaf. Areas of interest that interest me most is probably rehabbing and obtaining rental property. Just a little bit about myself. I'm currently working at a company called Sears Contract. We are a construction company, and we build commercial buildings, interior and exterior walls. I've been doing that type of work now for probably 20 years. I enjoy building from ground up. I am interested in the real estate aspects of it. I've done some rehabbing for landlords and also other rehabbers. I believe that I could bring something good to the table in this and learn something as well. Opportunity to do charity work. I believe that you guys can, under the right mentorship, that you can mold me into a good investor. I believe that can happen. One of the benefits that I've seen that TRIA offer is their classes, and everybody seems to be, polite. They don't mind offering their friendship, the energy, and the members and the environment. It's very pleasant. I'm gonna leave it right there. My contact is you can reach me at my cell at 919-308-6197, or you can email me at melvinw9375@gmail.com. Thank you.
Heartaches on. Heartaches on long breaks, I learn from my mistakes. Hope you do too. Heart turns and slow burns, the wounded heart still earns. Hope you do too. I'm gonna learn me my lesson and move on. I'm gonna keep on loving till the love is gone. 'Cause I can see that something's weak and somehow strong, and I do it all alone. Did you steal traps and throwbacks? I try to trace my tracks. Hope you do too. Heartaches on long breaks, I learn from my mistakes. Hope you do too. Heart turns and slow burns, the wounded heart still earns. Hope you do too. I'm gonna learn me my lesson and move on. I'm gonna keep on loving till the love is gone. 'Cause I can see that something's weak and somehow strong, and I do it all alone. Did you steal traps and throwbacks? I try to trace my tracks. Hope you do too. Long range and short change, I find everything strange. Hope you do too. I'm gonna learn me my lesson and move on. I'm gonna keep on loving till the love is gone. 'Cause I can see that something's weak and somehow strong, and I do it all alone. Did you? High hopes and short ropes, I try to change my scope. Hope you do too. Strong nights and fist fights, I'm down by the bright lights. Hope you are too. I'm gonna learn me my lesson and move on. I wanna keep on loving till the loving's gone. I'm gonna learn me my lesson and move on. I'm gonna keep on loving till the loving's gone. I'm gonna learn me my lesson.
Hi, my name is Adam Schneider, and I'm with
Hey, community members. My name is Ryan Groff with New Western Acquisitions. I am the broker in charge here in Raleigh, and we've done a lot of business with a lot of you guys, and thank you all for the business, and look forward to doing a lot more. I'm just here today to, hope everyone's safe out there, and hope everyone's staying healthy, and wishing everyone the best through these tough times. But to kind of share a little bit about what we do here at New Western. We consider ourselves a full-service brokerage, investment brokerage that specializes in helping investors from A to Z in banking. Now, what we mean by that is our primary product that we offer is our properties. We get about 15 off-market direct-to-seller deals each month here in the Triangle area. And when I say the Triangle area, I mean primarily in Raleigh, Durham, Cary, Fuquay, those areas, not necessarily the rural outskirt areas. Besides that, we also have in-house financing. If you were looking to purchase a property, we could get you pre-approved and fully approved that day for a property with very competitive rates nationally. We also have heavily vetted contractors in the area, as far as general contractors all the way down to subcontractors for AC, electrician, etc. We also are all licensed here. As I mentioned, I'm the broker in charge. Everyone is licensed. And because of that, we're able to refer you out to the best listing agents in each area, or the cheapest or flat fee listing, or if you need a good property manager, we know a lot of good property managers in the area. So we're really looking to, make some more connections with y'all, help some more of y'all with your investing goals. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about us. We've been around since 808, where we started in Dallas, Texas. Since then, we've expanded to about 40 offices nationwide. We've done over 18,000 investment properties, and for a little bit over 2.3 trillion in revenue. So I would look forward to doing business with y'all. Look forward to making more connections. And please feel free to contact us anytime, and an agent would be more than happy to speak with you. We are continuing to do deals right now, and there's continued opportunities out there. So I look forward to meeting more of y'all and doing more business. Thanks.
Heartaches on long breaks, I learn from my mistakes. Hope you do too. Hard turns and slow burns, the wounded heart still learns. Hope you do too. I'm gonna learn me my lesson and move on. I'm gonna keep on loving till the loving's gone. 'Cause I can see that sometimes we can somehow strong, and I do it all alone. Did you? Steel traps and throwbacks, I try to trace my tracks. Hope you do too. Heartaches on long break. Hello, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. We have a really great program. We're super excited about having Abhi Golhar. We'll introduce him in a minute for you, but he's going to show you how to make your business absolutely explode and give you some awesome examples of things he's done with a simple automation. And it's not a software that you have to buy or anything. So anyway, this could be great. A few announcements first. I will say, if anyone has something to share tonight, we did send us out an email to you, but I don't know if y'all got it. If anyone has a deal or an offer or anything you need, if you'd like to speak to that tonight, we'll give you a minute to do so. Stick a little note in the chat right now to host. We do have one person signed up already, so we'll get to that in just a minute. Mike Eggins. So be ready, and I'll unmute you to do yours. Y'all did see his slide in the slideshow. He did send a slide along for his offer, so he'll be telling you a little about that in 30 seconds or less. We do not have a legal minute tonight, mostly because I forgot to announce it last meeting. So let me go ahead and tell you now. If you have a legal question, you get it answered free. Saves you a $250 consult, as long as you don't mind sharing it with 100 of your closest friends and fellow TRIA members. If you have a legal question, email it to Kathy, Kathie, @tria.com. A couple other really quick announcements. As many of you know, we've completed our structure change so that we are now allowed to offer you much more diverse and vibrant programming. For example, under our old structure, we couldn't do anything to invest in real estate or anything that we actually teach, which didn't make a lot of sense. So we did complete that change, and we just completed our first project. And guys, we had a group of 13 students. They each paid tuition. We bought a house in Cary, North Carolina. We rehabbed it. If you think it's fun making rehab decisions, try doing it with 13 people. But it got done. We put that thing up for sale. We listed it for $289 on a Friday. On Sunday, we accepted an offer for $305. It just closed. Closed on the 13th, so a couple days ago. We're getting ready to have our final wrap-up meeting with that class, and as soon as we finish that, we are starting a new one. We do have a list of people interested. If you are one of those, drop a chat here or send us an email at triaprojects@gmail.com. It's going to be another really great class. We have a lot of really great programming, and unfortunately, we're still here on Zoom, and We'd love to be back in person. We don't really know when that's going to happen, but we're all getting through. And the good thing about it is we get to have some, you know, speakers who we might not get to come here normally. So that's the good part. Thank you for you guys who are James and Jesse, who are putting your interest in the chat there. Remember, you have just a couple more seconds if you have any who's got what. But we realize this is the best we can do. It's no substitute for meeting in person and shaking hands and getting to know people and, you know, meeting your new person who's going to be your lender and all that good stuff. But we do have a few ways that we're trying to compensate for that. One is what we're doing here. You can do a little who's got what in front of any meeting. Anthony Smith, yes, we do not send the meeting recording to attendees, but we do have it on our website. What you do is if you're a member, you go to the calendar, you click on the meeting that you want to see. If the meeting's already happened, it will be X'd out, but it's still clickable, and you just scroll down and you can watch the video. Dang, now I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, networking. The other way we're doing networking, a few other ways. On our Facebook group page, we have two. We have our business page, Triangle Real Estate Investors Association, and we have Triangle Real Estate Investors Association networking group. Join that one, guys. A lot of networking going on there. Deals, offers, people looking for advice, people offering stuff. It's really busy on there. We allow non-members to join so that you have a bigger audience. We don't allow them to post. So the posting is all yours. The other thing you can do is to make a member spotlight video. You saw one of those earlier. If you'll make one for us, we'll play them. We rotate them around our meetings, and you can introduce yourself and tell anything you'd like. You can tell people, you know, if you're looking for a partner or whatever. Just it's really important. And along with that, equally important is having your camera on tonight. And I'm telling you, it's for your best interest, because when we get back live, guys, if we haven't seen you in these meetings, we aren't going to know who you are. So really, you've joined TRIA and you're coming to meetings, and that's awesome. But make the most of your membership. Get involved. Volunteer. Be interested in new programs. Send us your ideas. We're taking ideas for speakers you'd like to hear, or programming you'd like to have. Any idea, all welcome. TRIA projects at gmail.com, and you know, do a member spotlight. Put your face up here so we can see you. It will really, really help you. You'll be surprised when we get back to live. But what we're doing tonight is a who's got what, and that's if you have a deal or a need. So Cherry, if you'll send me a quick note, do you have a deal or a need? And that's all the announcements I have. And Leslie's going to tell you a little bit about our upcoming programs. And then we're going to put Mike Eggins on to tell you about his deal, and anyone else who has a deal. If Cherry may have a deal, I'm trying to figure that out now. But Leslie?
Sorry, you want me now?
Yeah, I want you now.
Oh, you want me now? Okay. Yeah, just a quick update on upcoming meetings. Of course, Thursday, we have our millennials meeting at 6 o'clock, and super special, because not only do we have our own Peter Chang is going to be on talking to us about the hard money lenders and what people do wrong, but our wonderful guest speaker this evening, Mr. Abhi Golhar, is going to also join Peter, and he is going to be providing everybody who attends that meeting something very special, and it's going to be a surprise, but you got to log in and register and get on the meeting if you want something super duper special that is really going to help you in your business. So millennials, Thursday, be there or be square. And I know that dates me, but so what? Anyway, and then next week we're continuing our around the world in 80 days. No, around real estate investing 360, where we're trying to bring you topics that are a little out of the norm. And next week we have a speaker that is nationally acclaimed. He's an author, and you may not have heard of him, but he has a very, shall I say, topic that is not familiar to a lot of people. And what it is overages. Now, it's a little bit of a different take on real estate investing, and his name is Mr. Bob Diamond, and he's going to be explaining the ins and outs of overages. Google it, see what it says. Anyway, but he's going to be with us for 360, and of course, keep checking your calendar for future meetings. As soon as I can get to them, I get them on the calendar for you guys, and get registered, and come on and join us and start learning, networking, get your face known. And once we get back to in-person meetings, everybody's going to be one big happy family. I'm done.
Yeah, and remember, guys, don't let the topic of the subgroup throw you off. You don't have to be a millennial to come to millennials anymore. You don't have to live in West Triangle area to come to Triangle West or North or South or Fayetteville, because while we're on Zoom, come to them all. Take advantage of them all. Don't let the topic throw you off, because Thursday is going to be really awesome. If you are looking for a hard money lender for your projects, or if you are a hard money lender, you need to be there, because the hard money lender is going to tell you where you're going wrong and why you're not getting your hard money deals, and how you can get a hard money lender to approve you every time. And then Abhi is going to tell hard money lenders what they're doing wrong and what they need to do. So it's great if you need money or if you are a lender. Don't miss it. And the overage thing is also really cool. So I think I lied to you, because Mike did send a slide, and it was in the presentation earlier. I'll try to show it again at the end, but he looks like he didn't make it on. He registered, but he's not here. So without further ado, I'm just going to introduce Abhi. Y'all, Abhi Golhar is a serial entrepreneur. He's got his hand in a million things. He is a real estate investor, but real estate investing is really just part of his overall portfolio. What he's going to tell you about applies to any kind of business. Of course, he's tailoring it for us, for real estate investors, but he's going to tell you more about it. And take it away, Abhi.
There we go. I was unmuted, or I was on mute. Good times. Thank you so much, first of all, Tria family, for having me. I'm super excited to be here. There's always something, right? Like there's always something that we're looking for. And I found it in technology. I've grown and scaled a bunch of different businesses. And you know, for me to be here to present like the one thing, right? Everybody's read the book, The One Thing. If you haven't, you're absolutely failing in life. Like I need you to pick up that book like today. But this is the one automation. This is the one automation that I feel can really jumpstart where you want to ultimately be. I have a very interesting thesis, and my thesis is as follows. We're in the business of building a business, right? Not building a job. And I really want that to hit home. I want us to really take that one thing away, which is we can work, we can be flipping for the rest of our lives. If we are actively involved in a business that we don't want to be involved in, then I think you might as well consider doing something else. But if you're ultimately interested in an exit, if you're interested in scaling, hiring people, so you can step back and really have something grow, then I think this presentation is for you. You're a real estate investor, you could be a lender, you could be a wholesaler, this applies to you. You could be a flipper, you could be a rental owner. Frankly, this also applies to you, because you want to make sure your tenants are happy, your contractors are happy. So how do you do that with one automation? And I'll tell you something. If I knew this at the very beginning of my business career, of my real estate investing career, it would have totally changed the game. So I'm excited to be here and talk through it. One of the challenges that I feel that a lot of investors have is overwhelm. We've got a lot of stuff going on. And it's not enough that we've got COVID-19. Oh no, we've got far too many things to do. Whether it's writing contracts, sending out yellow letters, and I think now it's blue letters. Is that the trend? Doesn't Sherwin-Williams have trends on like what color letter people are sending out these days? I'm pretty sure that's a thing. So whether it's yellow letters, blue letters, pink scented letters, perhaps you might be sending out, there's a lot of overwhelm. And that's only on the real estate business side. For many of you, this is a side hustle. This is a project that you're thinking, hey, it could turn into something, but you still have full-time jobs. Awesome. It's still overwhelming. You still got to pay taxes, right? Still have to do that. And then you're distracted with what's going on in potentially news media, maybe kids. And I really, quite frankly, hope you're not like this kid who's like texting and walking into polls, right? Like that's not cool, but you're distracted. A lot of things going on nationally that need consideration. You got the election. We've got murder hornets. We've got meth alligators. Did you all know meth alligators are like a thing? I just read about this a month ago. There's so many folks in Florida and Tennessee that are flushing their medications down the drain, and these alligators are eating the medication, and they're turning into meth alligators, being really aggressive. I didn't really know that was a thing until like a month ago. It's absolutely nuts. So what's happening is we've got all this craziness going on in our world, and where's the loyalty that real estate agents' clients have? You as a wholesaler, your buyers, I mean, yeah, they might be loyal to you, but what's loyalty when they have 5 or 6 or 8 or 20 different wholesalers in Raleigh, North Carolina, right? And that they can count on. There's no loyalty. And as somebody that's interested in building a business, one of the hallmarks of a business is to build, grow, and scale customer loyalty. Flippers, I know you feel this pain, right? You've got contractors that will say, see you later. I'm going to go make a crap ton of more money somewhere else because this new real estate investor is willing to pay me a 35% margin instead of a 12% margin. Thank you very much. I get that feeling too. And lenders, I mean, you have it worst of all, right? You have to keep pushing on your clients. You have to go keep finding more maybe. Google ads, Facebook ads, I know how that feels to be paying that bill, and it's not a fun bill to pay. So what's the solution? The solution is we got to automate faster, and we have to automate smarter. It's not enough. But I know many of you have gone through all the real estate wholesaling techniques of like, or even flipping courses, and they all tell you, all right, you're going to use Podio. Here's the general prescription, right? It's like a one size fits all. You're going to log into Podio. Then we're going to create an amazing experience for your team on Podio. That's going to cost you $6,000. And then, and on top of that, you have to go get Zapier, Globiflow, HelloSign or PandaDoc. And I know you guys are laughing. And if you're not laughing, you should be at yourselves for spending all the money on this stupid crap. And then ultimately, where's the client experience in all this? Your buyer, there's no follow-up, follow-through with the buyer 5 or 6 or 7 months after you've closed on a contract. For you flippers, same thing. For you lenders, same thing. Lenders are interested for me in one thing, which is just loaning money. After that, the transaction's over. Some of the best lenders that I know keep following up and saying, hey, how's the project? What's going on? This is awesome. This is great. I want to hear more. What's going on in your personal life? I heard you took on, this X, Y, and Z thing. I hope that's going well. So automating smarter is important because a lot of these things you can do by automating quicker and just being smarter about your technology. So here's the deal. Top investors use one automation equation. All right, here's the equation. And I've had the privilege of interviewing, I don't know, I've done a lot of national radio since 2016, had a nationally syndicated radio show since then for 3.5 years, and now host the Think Realty podcast. I keep saying radio show, it's not a radio show anymore, it's the podcast. And I've interviewed a lot of people. This is the one equation. That. You can screenshot it, great. It's gonna be back, it's gonna be on the Trio website later, but it looks like Greek along with all the Greek behind it. I'm gonna get to it in a second. But this is the one equation that if you use, you'll consistently have leads, you'll consistently nurture these leads, and it will create a system, it will create an automated flow. What's the equation? That's the equation. C plus R plus I divided, C plus R plus I is in the numerator, divided by S in the denominator. All right, I know, you're thinking, seriously? I did not sign up to have a glass of wine and listen to Abhi talk about algebra this evening. Well, I'll boil it down for you. If the denominator is bigger than the numerator, then the number is super small. Essentially what this equation is saying is, if you are selfish more than you are giving, then there's little trust with you. If you are more giving than you are selfish, then there's a high level of trust with you. Now, this matters ultimately with the equation that we're going to get to, because it all leads to why should people ultimately buy your offer? Now, the benefit that you have this evening is I'm not selling anything. I love doing this kind of stuff, and the amazing folks at Tria reached out. They're like, hey, could you talk a little bit about some of the business stuff that you've been up to? And I'm happy to provide examples. So the rest of this presentation should last maybe another 30 minutes. And then I want to get into some Q&A. So that's going to be really good. But a lot of this trust really comes down to these couple of things: credibility, reliability, intimacy, and self-orientation. Now, it's not the intimacy that you're talking about, okay? It's not like hey, let's grab a couple glasses of red wine and toast. And no, I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is being a trusted advisor to somebody. My friend Charlie Green co-authored a book called The Trusted Advisor, from where this equation was borrowed. The more that you are establishing your credibility with your people, reliability and intimacy, you're really getting to know whether it's their family. As a real estate agent, you want to help them sell, you want to help them buy. As a wholesaler, you want to know your buyers, you want to know your sellers, you want to really create that trust and bond, because quite frankly, that's all we have left in this world, right? At the end of the day, then this equation will help you understand where you need to start putting your efforts. So trust is important at the end of the day. And why, how does this all fit into the overall funnel here? Weber redefined what the sales funnel looks like. Normally, we're used to a upside down triangle that starts with awareness and then leads to bottom of the funnel, right? You hear a lot of people talking about top of the funnel activity. They're talking about outbound marketing, generally speaking. They're talking about raising awareness for your brand. How do you do that? Facebook ads, Google ads, etc. I know a lot of you lenders out there, you're spending a lot of money on Google ads. The same thing with wholesalers for I buy houses. Same thing for flippers, because you're trying to cut out the wholesaler because you want to make that net margin. I understand that. But Weber said, you know what? Let's go from left to right, because there's more of a cyclic idea here. We're going to start from awareness. We're going to go all the way to loyalty and advocacy. And this is what the top investors do. This is what they understand. The top investors, lenders, real estate agents, brokers, whomever, across the board, they understand that in order to build a business, we need to understand that loyalty matters and that advocacy matters. We'll talk about two things this evening. The first is the gap between awareness and consideration, and the second, which is taking you from consideration to conversion. In layman's terms, how do I take a lead to taking me seriously, awareness to consideration? And then how do I take that lead from being serious to closing, which means value for them, money for me? That's what we're going to talk about.
Hey, Abhi.
Yeah.
I think your computer froze up for a couple seconds. I've had a couple people ask, would you go over again what CM, CB, RE, and N mean?
Yep. Man, I tell you, that dial-up connection from the 80s, I'm still trying to figure it out. Okay. So C plus R plus I, and if that ever happens, just let me know, and I'll go back a slide, not a big deal. Credibility, reliability, and intimacy. These are the three things that form the numerator of this equation. In order for us to really give, we need to understand that we need to establish our credibility in the market. We need to establish that we are reliable. And we also need to establish the fact that we're not just in it for ourselves. We really care about the person that we're speaking to. Hence, the intimacy component of the relationship. That matters. If we take that, and if that numerator is super large, if we give and give and give and give and give, then ultimately a small ask is going to be, hey, are you looking at selling your property? If you are, let me know.
I'm sorry, Abhi. They're asking, it was the slide before this.
Oh, it's this one? This one?
Yes, that one.
Okay. So this is the entire secret surprise. Okay, I did not go over the slide on purpose because y'all are getting this later.
Okay,
Right,
sorry.
I don't want there to be any drop off. I want to make this an awesome thing for Tria. So y'all are gonna have to wait until the very end, and I promise I'm not selling anything.
All right, so we got it.
All right, cool. Just stay with me. So trust, we're good. we talk about this overall component here, which is from AWeber, okay? And we talk about the overall now redoing of the sales funnel. Awareness, consideration, conversion, loyalty, advocacy. Let's start with the first one, awareness to consideration. What does that ultimately mean? That means leads, right? Like, I need leads. Without leads, as a real estate lender, wholesaler, flipper, agent, broker, you name it, contractor, right? If you're a contractor and you're on here, you're dead without leads. So how do you get them? And that's really, really important. People need to take you seriously, and a big component of building trust is that. One thing that I do want to talk about, the first, I suppose, part of the equation a little bit, if you're not using a chatbot on your Facebook, if you just don't have Facebook Messenger set up on your Facebook business page, like, you're failing at life. I think, like, you're just, it's not. Here's the thing. If you have a Facebook chatbot, you have a free piece of technology, ladies and gentlemen, that's working for you when you are not on Facebook, on social. I'm going to show you how to set it up step by step in a second. But imagine this. Imagine if on Facebook, the messenger bot, let's say, let me pick on somebody. Let's see, I've got a couple names here. Hold on. I can't see names. That's okay. I'll pick on Jackie. All right. Jackie says, hey, I'm a buyer and I heard about Abhi's wholesaling business. I go to facebook.com/Abhi Golhar wholesaling business, and a little chatbot pops up. And the chatbot says, what's your name? What type of deals are you interested in? How much money do you want to invest? What are you looking for? Where are your areas? These questions are being captured by this bot on Facebook that you can set up for free. And you can market to these people in the future because now Facebook has interacted with them because they're on your page. Imagine now if you have two different buyers. Let's say I'm a newbie and I'm looking for my first deal. And let's say, I don't know, Sam or Mike, somebody on here I'm sure is named Mike. Let's say Mike is looking for, and he's a more sophisticated buyer and he's looking for 5 deals. I can create an automation to where if I'm just a newbie investor, that this chatbot will automatically send deal flow to me, that's a newbie investor, but send different deals to Mike, who's a pro. That's the power of Facebook, this messenger bot. And it's also, if that works in conjunction with the other automation that I'm going to talk about in a second, that's legitimately all you need to set up for the rest of 2020. And you're setting yourself up for 2021 in a really big way. So let me show you how to set up this Facebook Messenger bot for a second. And I think we'll start here. So you see the message. This is my Facebook profile page. You can follow me. Great. If you don't, great. It doesn't matter. Underneath the sign up button, you see this button that says message. Essentially, when you click on that, what ultimately happens is you're taken to your settings page, and it goes to your Facebook messaging settings. You scroll down and you see where it says add messenger to your website. I thought I had arrows on here. I apologize. Add messenger to your website, and it says get started. And it also says set up automated responses. If you click on that, what this ultimately does is gives you a control panel that says, hey, if I'm messaging you on Facebook, here are a couple of things that I want to ask. You can set up away messages. You can set up your location, contact information, reminders. You can set up all different types of things, and you get a little cool preview on the right side. And that's just the start of it. I'm happy to show you, I'm happy to do like a little video walkthrough training of exactly how to set this up. Happy to do that for you guys and then send that over as a video file that you can download. So that's not an issue as well. Closing the gap then between awareness to consideration, we have leads, and we want to bring those leads into our ecosphere, right? Into our overall system. How are we going to do that? With a Facebook Messenger bot that you can get for free. You can also do that with really awesome content. And I think that's something that is missing today. We can get into that in Q&A a little bit, but start thinking about content too. There are two pieces of tech that are like $5 or $10 a month, and it's like virtually free, right? Like if you have like a Starbucks budget, then you can pay for this. Buffer is $10 a month for the pro version. And what this gives you the ability to do is when you're creating content, when you are displaying credibility to the marketplace, because that's a really big component of trust, you want to make sure you're everywhere. Using these two platforms gives you the ability to not have to post to every single platform individually. You can now do so in one click. And I think that's really neat. And so for a lot of you folks out there, you know, you're like, well, I hate technology and the internet is a fad. Well, okay. I think that's an issue. But these two pieces of tech will help. Okay. There's something else that I like to use when scheduling out posts, especially when I've written an article. So let's say you're a flipper and you just finished an amazing flip and you want to talk about this with TRIA, or you want to talk about this within your community. What happens if you create a cool blog or just a nice PDF, 2 or 3 or 4 pages, you want to get that out there. Getting out snippets and using a social media calendar to help you visualize when you're going to post this on social really will up your game. And it's the difference between getting you as an entity more visibility versus not. I use a social calendar every single day, and it helps. And just doing a quick audio check, I'm coming okay?
Yep, doing great.
Awesome, thank you. The second component that I want to talk about is consideration and conversion. Now, we've taken a lead from not knowing who we are to knowing who we are, but providing good content and giving them a way to connect with us for free using a Facebook Messenger bot. And I think that's really neat. Let's talk about how we're going to take them from consideration to ultimately converting. A couple of pieces of tech that I like to use that are super cost friendly, where you don't need the thousands of dollars of software. ActiveCampaign, Aweber, Zapier, Tarsbot, and ManyChat. Now, I know I made fun of Zapier a little while ago, but if you're in a jam, what Zapier does is it connects one piece of technology to another piece of technology. I'll give you an example. If, say, I'm taking in information from Facebook, the Messenger bot, and I want to take that leads information. Let's say Mike has filled out this information. I can take that information and using Zapier, I can connect it to another location, say where I store data. It can be in Zoho, which is a free CRM as an example. The combination that we're going to talk about here to take a potential client from consideration to close is exactly this. This is how we're going to close the gap. Step 1 is your Facebook Messenger bot. Step 2 is ManyChat. Step 3 is ActiveCampaign. This combination is going to be as close to free as you'll get. ManyChat, I think, is their lowest tier is $20 a month. ActiveCampaign, I know it says on the website, it might be $70, but it's not. You send them an email and they'll lower it to 29 bucks. I know I did that. I know because I did that like 2 weeks ago. Here's the formula. You're going to set up your Facebook Messenger bot. You're going to go to ManyChat and connect ManyChat to Facebook. ManyChat gives you the ability to have advanced workflows so that you can ask different sets of questions for different sets of people. Based on those responses, you'll funnel these individuals into ActiveCampaign, where you'll hold different email campaigns for the sequences that you're running at the time. Let's go through that a little more. If you go to ManyChat, and I'm going to use a real estate agent here because, you know, that's just easy. That's an easy example for me to use. If I sign up on ManyChat, I can create a very customized welcome message that says, hey, welcome first name. The blue highlighted first name indicates that ManyChat will identify who they are based on Facebook and then just regurgitate their name in place of where it says first name. So it will say, welcome Mike or welcome Amy. Thanks for reaching out. I look forward to speaking with you. Any of this can be customized for you. The benefit that you also have with ManyChat is that it tracks how many messages were sent, delivered, opened, and clicked. These, ladies and gentlemen, become your metrics. So if you suck at scaling businesses, it's really hard to suck when it's done for you. Like that's the truth. If you have 1,000 messages that were sent, but only 10 messages that were delivered, well, gee, something's wrong there. ManyChat also serves as a good way to keep your head screwed on straight from a business metrics perspective. This helps to build trust. This also then helps to enhance your business. What ultimately happens with ManyChat is you can tell people to go different places. You can have them go to a website. You can have them go to a landing page where you're selling a, I don't know, $10,000 guru course on how to flip homes on a fur bus tour of Raleigh and Cary, North Carolina. Don't worry, red wine is not for sale there. I would say this, if you want to really dig into ManyChat, spend less than 2 weeks doing this and you'll thank me later for it. What you see on the screen in front of you is a way where if I'm somebody that's interacting with you on Facebook when you're not there, you're telling me to open a website, to go check out the real estate tips that you're offering. Remember the credibility and reliability component that we talked about with the trust equation? This is exactly where it comes into play. ManyChat gives you that ability. The benefit that you have with ManyChat is it integrates directly into ActiveCampaign. Essentially, you don't have to read any of this. What this means is ManyChat has made it easy for you to move your contacts that are connecting with you on Facebook to ActiveCampaign. Now, why is that important? Because if you're a coder like me, you can make it happen. If you're not a coder like me, then you're like, I just need a one-click setup. That's exactly what this is. And it's for free because you've already paid the $10 a month or the $15 a month from ManyChat. When you connect, and I know many of you have questions, I'm almost done. I promise, hang in with me and I'm answer all your questions. The benefit here is ManyChat will do that for you with ActiveCampaign. Here's what ActiveCampaign looks like. It's a little blurry, but I'm going to give you the gist of it. If you're a real estate agent, you can send any kind of email series follow-up sequence to your potential prospective buyers. If you find that you generally are attracting two types of buyers, your young millennial buyers, your yuppies, your young professionals, and they just want to move into a condo in downtown because they want to be cool and they want to go out at night and get hammered. Great. You can, you can create all sorts of memes. You can do all of these things. You can talk their language in one specific email campaign without upsetting the 70-somethings that want to downsize and that hate the 20-something yuppers. You can create a completely different email campaign for those folks. And here's the coolest part. Based on what you tell ManyChat to do, it will push Sally, the 20-something, to a specific email campaign that you want. Versus Joe, the 70-something, that's like, hey, you know what? I'm just looking to downsize and I want to go have some fun in Bali. That's a different type of conversation. ActiveCampaign gives you the ability to now follow the interaction that these prospects, whether they're buyers, sellers, homeowners, whomever, it gives you the ability to track their progress through your system. And ultimately, guess who's winning? You are, because that's what we do. Does that make sense? I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You're a winner, otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? Duh, there you go. You can also, if you're a real estate agent, I'm just loving on real estate agents right now. If you're a real estate agent, this is your follow-up sequence for a home assessment. It's a really good way to get some good free leads. And how much did this cost you? A couple coffees and maybe 3 hours of your time. With a home assessment, you're smart. You can generate leads. You can keep leads organized. You can build relationships. You can complete a home assessment. If you're a first-time homeowner, if I'm marketing to a first-time homeowner, like many wholesalers are, for example, or let's say a first-time home seller, you know what? I want to see if they qualify to buy or if they qualify to sell. As a wholesaler, I would be eating this up from an automation perspective, because that means you're no longer slow. You don't have to wait the 10 minutes for Podio to talk to Globiflow, to talk to Zap, to talk to PandaDoc and HelloSign for some remote person in the Philippines to do something for you. I know that's what you've been sold. This is what's going to fix everything. Essentially, it's part of the automation sequence that you need. And the benefit here is you can create follow-up tasks for your teams to complete at any point in time. How much does all of this cost you again? Again, I'm not a spokesperson for ActiveCampaign. We use ActiveCampaign across all of my companies, and it just streamlines the heck out of all of our operations. It costs you, I mean, we pay for the premium version, but if you wanted to pay for the super light version, $30 a month. So at the end of the day, there are a couple of things that I want to reiterate, and then we'll go into some Q&A. One, technology is not scary. It's not. There's no such thing like Terminator. That's not going to happen. Okay, artificial intelligence. There are two different types of AI. Okay, for those that you want to know, you have AGI and ANI. AGI is artificial general intelligence. ANI is artificial narrow intelligence. Everything, all the AI that real estate investors talk about is nothing more than a big if-then statement. If this happens, then do this. That's where all of the research and development for all these scientists at MIT is going, is in task-oriented artificial intelligence, not AGI. Not like the Terminator, I'm gonna turn the world upside down and I'm gonna rule humans' lives. So technology is not scary. So if you're losing sleep over that, don't worry about it. Maybe get a gravity blanket, you'll feel better. I want you to build a business, not build a job. And this is important. If you don't use automations in your business, you will be working for the next 365 days, 14 hours a day. And I know how that feels. So please don't do that. I'm still betting on the United States of America long-term. The greatest country in the world, that's it. I'm also still betting on the real estate market. I think there are a lot of phonies out there that are saying that the real estate market's going to crash and crash and crash and crash, and that the election's going to determine what's happening. Listen, at the end of the day, they're not building any more of America, right? There's no kryptonite. There are no kryptonite islands that are being created like off the coast of Hawaii to buy. And even if there were, it's like not a good place. You've seen Superman. It's like not even a good place to live. From everything that I've heard, if you have a long-term strategy with what you're doing in the real estate market, building a business in the real estate market and in the real estate industry will serve you well long-term. So what's the one equation? This is the last slide. You've waited all presentation for it. Here it is. Content marketing plus your chatbot plus re-nurturing, which is a feature that ActiveCampaign you can build into ActiveCampaign. This is the difference between a 6-figure a year wholesaler and a 7-figure a year wholesaler. The right content marketing strategy, a chatbot, whether that's a Facebook chatbot, ManyChat, or something that you have on your website, and a re-nurturing campaign. An example of a re-nurturing campaign is if somebody interacts with an email campaign that you've already sent, and they click off your website or they click off of your email campaign, your face, your brand is shown everywhere else. That's the equation. Content marketing, chatbot, and re-nurturing. The moment that they see you somewhere else, you bring them back into your funnel and you're like, hey, Johnny, right? Hey, Susan, hey, Sally, I think we still should chat. And the moment that they're brought back into your ecosystem, you have a higher chance of closing them. And I know this works because not a lot of wholesalers in Atlanta, and Atlanta's a pretty big market, and I live in Atlanta, not a lot of wholesalers in Atlanta are appropriately using the strategy. Imagine if you can do that in Cary, North Carolina. I think you'll clean up. And that's the result of adding a lot of value. Okay, so that's my email address. I know there are a lot of questions. I'm sweating. It's hot in here. Bring it. Thank you so much again, Tria, for having me. I hope there are a lot of folks that have a lot of questions from this presentation. And if you do, good, because I need you guys to be better. And if you already are awesome, then keep getting better. That's all I gotta say. Thank you.
Okay, here's your first question. Y'all, if you have questions, type them in the chat. What do you mean, or they will see your face everywhere? How does that work?
Yes. So, all right. From a marketing perspective, you can have different types of ads that, if you're using Facebook ads and Google ads, if somebody clicks on an ad, they're brought into your ecosphere and into your universe. If that ad from the get-go is tracked properly, okay, that's the key component to all of this. If it's tracked properly, and let's say they're on your website, amywholesales.com, you can place a cookie on their browser or on their computer. Essentially, it's a tracking device. Your website is tracking them where they're going. And the moment they go to cnbc.com, they see your little banner, or they see a little graphic of you saying, hey, come back to my website. The moment they click that to come back to your website, you can nurture them again. That's the re-nurturing component. You can nurture them again with additional video, with additional emails, with maybe a phone call, maybe a text message that's automated. That's what I mean when I say a combination of the right marketing strategy and the re-nurturing component. It's one thing to get the marketing right. It's a completely separate thing to get the re-nurturing right. That's why re-nurturing is a significantly larger part of that conversation than having somebody set up just the marketing component of what you would need. You can find somebody to do that on Upwork.com for $50 an hour and pay them 3 or 4 hours worth of time. That's okay. And I'm a budget-friendly guy. Like, I love doing stuff on a budget. So, great question.
So there's a follow-up to that as well. Which of the programs you mentioned are used to place the cookies, or is that a different piece of software?
So ActiveCampaign does place cookies whenever somebody interacts with an email from ActiveCampaign. ActiveCampaign tracks them anyway. If you're on your website, you can place a Facebook pixel, which is nothing more than a piece of code that tells Facebook, hey, start tracking this person. You can also install Google Analytics code on your website that tells you where these people are coming from and why and how they're getting there. Did they click on a Facebook ad? Did they click on a Google ad? Did they click on a guest blog post that you did for Tria, and now all of a sudden they're on your website for some reason? So between tracking and the pixel code, you'll generally know where people are coming from. I hope that answered your question without getting too technical with it.
Anyone else have questions for Abhi?
Abhi, I have a question. This is a
Yeah.
What you just mentioned about you can go to Upwork.com and for $50 an hour get somebody to help with the marketing campaign or strategy. So if you are not a programmer and you are not tech savvy, and perhaps you're not good at, you've got like a basic website, and so you're really struggling with, how do I even get started? If you were to reach out through Upwork or some of the platforms where you can get an expert, what should you be asking for? Like what kind of talent, where would you start?
Great question. So if I'm not technical, I have a basic website and I'm looking for help on Upwork, I would be as specific as I can with the information that I have. So for example, if you're watching this presentation and you're interested in taking action on it, you're like, all right, I'm going to make this happen, but I don't know what the heck he just said. All right. So what I do remember though is I want to track my visitors and I want to send them to my email campaign place. Write that out and be as specific as you can. The other thing too, like everybody here is so used to looking at comps. Y'all do all the research, right? So you can go to job listings on Upwork.com and see what other people are posting and kind of just copy and paste it into your own job post. I mean, there's nothing wrong there. I've done that so many times because there were things that I didn't understand from a technical perspective. And I just said, oh my gosh, like this Amazon AWS thing, and this is like really Greek and I speak 4 languages. And like, I still don't know what this means. So be specific, bullet point it out, and maybe even type in your keywords into Upwork, see what pops up in terms of folks that are willing to do the work, and maybe even copy and paste some of their sentences and continue to elaborate on that. But Jackie, that's a really good question.
Adrian Rodriguez is asking, do you recommend any tools for automating maintenance requests and dealing with tenant requests 24/7?
Yeah, so baserent.com is a startup that 2 of my friends have put together. I think it does a really good job of that. I think there are a couple of, so here's the problem. No, actually. And here, well, here's why. Here's why. And I hope to fix that next year. There's no, the only way that these software people, and I'm like a software geek, right? The only way that they can make money is if they sell either high dollar value, $300, $400, $500 a month pieces of tech, or they're going to make it a low enough price point, but they're going to set their minimums at like a 50 units. Like you have to have 50 units to use my piece of tech. I think that's selfish and I think that's stupid. Nobody's really put together a product that is good enough for you. Adrian, that's asking the question. I think it's Adrian. If I'm mistaken, let me know. So what I would do is the following. I would consider teaming up with maybe a few other people that also have a very, very similar challenge and issue, and build a piece of tech that can help you with that. It's probably going to take maybe 3 to 6 months to build. And it's probably going to cost $15,000 to $35,000. Y'all can split it, see what happens, see what that makes sense. And I know I'm asking a lot. You're like, are you kidding me? I just want something. The problem that people run into when they use Salesforce is that it's a big box, super expensive piece of software that they're never going to use. And there are not enough workflows. They're trying to customize workflows and it just doesn't work for them in Salesforce. That's why every wholesaler, flipper, wannabe, and even the true wholesalers and flippers, and I'm networked with these 7-figure, 8-figure year wholesalers, there's only maybe 2 or 3 8-figure year wholesalers in the country. Net Worth USA, I mean, they count, but they also don't count. I think the 7-figure year wholesalers, they're currently doing between 1 and 1.5 million a year. They haven't really broken that $2 million a year plane, unless you're like Sean Terry, but he's like, he never sleeps. And I don't know what he does. These folks, the reason that they're doing what they're doing is because they've crammed together a bunch of tech, very similar to what you've probably done, Adrian. And if that's not working well enough for you, then you've got to build it. And if you are interested in building it, I'm here to help. And I'd love to help you because that's something that I wish to build in 2021. I've taken on a lot of projects for 2020 that we're building. And man, Maybe I could do that. I think maybe I could show like what wireframes look like and how do you actually build a piece of tech and not be intimidated by it, because I think it's really a useful skill set to have. But if you decide to go down that path, man, get in touch with me. My email's there. Would love to help. I am sorry to say you would probably have to do like a Podio Globy Flow thing until you definitely build something.
Okay, anyone else have anything? We did just get a message from Mike Agents, who had to work late and said he's sorry. But if anyone wants to talk about his who's got what, let us know and we'll get you in touch with him. Any other questions?
I have one more. Sorry.
Yeah. And I'm like the geekiest kind of guy. Like you can ask me anything. You're like, how does Facebook work? Like that's all I do every day is I look at like source code and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. And then I'll go play like StarCraft on my 90s computer. Like, believe me.
And see, I am not techie, but I certainly appreciate how, that if you can get your hands around it, how it can just help. So this may be a question, but I'm just, ManyChat, you had said you can connect it to the Facebook chat box, the robot.
Yes.
Connect it to other softwares. Could you connect it to Airbnb? So you know if you're running an Airbnb business and your guests reach out through the chat, and I guess because I just see the text from a guest where you could automate without having to go to Guesty or one of the other platforms with just some.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll tell you right now. Airbnb API.
While you're doing that, Abhi, I guess Adam Schneider knows a little more about you than we do. Is he saying wish you a happy early birthday?
Thank you very much.
Somebody's done their research, but that's Thursday. And he's back. Abhi's back again Thursday, y'all. Remember, on Thursday for millennials, we are going to have the most common mistakes that cause you not to get hard money loans and how to fix that. And we're going to have Peter Chang telling you what you're doing wrong. And then we're going to have Abhi telling you how to fix that and telling the hard money lenders what they need to do to get better borrowers. So if you need money, be there. And if you're a hard money lender, be there. It's going to be really great.
Yeah, and if you are a hard money lender, or if you're a borrower and you want to become a hard money lender, these are the steps that you'll need to take to go from originating nothing to originating millions of dollars a year in business, which, I mean, if you're a broker and you're just connecting a borrower to like the capital markets lender, you can do very well without even having to flip a piece of real estate. So I'll go into that. I'll see if I can just throw that little model in there too. One of my really good friends in Atlanta, he's doing about 3 to 4 million a month in origination. And I'm building custom tech for him with a chatbot and all the artificial intelligence stuff. And he's on path to do so 3 million a month in origination means he's making anywhere between say $60,000 and $80,000 a month. Okay. It's crazy. He's going to take that from where he is now, 2 to like 3.5, and he's on path to do between 12 and $15 million a month in origination. Do you know what that means for the bottom line? It's a crap ton more money, and crap ton is like, you know,
a lot.
It's like a very technical term. Okay, so I was looking at the Airbnb API. Okay. So as Airbnb pass back messaging, allowing applications to build custom workflows and create so there's nothing that I can see that will connect it like ManyChat, but if you wanted to build something, I think that would be very interesting.
Yeah.
I think that could be interesting. Like, why isn't earnest money made? Like, why isn't the process of sending earnest money brought into into 2020 into 2021? Like, why can't somebody just send me a private invite link and then I can connect to my bank account and ACH transfer $500 and have like a text message when that money clears? I don't know, but I'm solving it, and it's going to be live in November. So like that kind of stuff, right? Like, anyway,
Bobby, Adam Snyder's asking, is the guy that you just talked about, your lender who you helped scale his business, is he a broker, or is he originating the note and moving it up to the secondary market for points as the spread?
He is, he's trying, so 30% of his business is the latter, 70% of his business is the former. So 70% of his business is brokerage, 30% of his business is what you just said, where he originates it himself and then he'll push it up the ladder. And then he'll capture a little bit of the yield spread too on the back, which I think is very interesting.
Denise Kunzel asked, would you, she sort of missed it if you went over what the formula means.
The formula means you can save yourself a lot of money and make a lot of money. No, it's fine. So content marketing, chatbot, and re-nurturing. Content marketing is how you're communicating your authority and credibility and reliability to the marketplace so they see you. Chatbot is one method to interact with you and your brand. And re-nurturing means once they're part of your ecosystem and they decide to leave and they come back, what additional value are you providing them? How do you capture them back into your system? And how do you make them stay? And a lot of wholesalers need it. I mean, this presentation applies to everybody. I don't care if you're a real estate agent, wholesaler, real estate broker, flipper, tax lien master, whatever. Tax liens are interesting too, by the way. God, love tax liens.
Yeah, we just had someone on that last month.
Yeah, I do a lot of tax lien investing in Atlanta. It's fantastic. I love the seller financing component to it too. It's like better than the Federal Reserve because they actually have to print money, right? Like here, I've got three pieces of paper and cash flow. Thank you very much.
So yeah, we had Joanne Musa at our TRIA 360 last month, and that is up on the website for the video. It was pretty great. Awesome. All right, that's it. Our time's up. Thank you all for your questions. Abhi, thank you so much. Remember, Abhi will be taking a deeper dive on Thursday, which is also his birthday. So, you know, you can't miss that now that we know that. Thanks, Adam.
Great. Thanks, guys.
You know, we could make a virtual cake for you if there's such.
I know, right? Virtually.
But don't miss it. Thank you all for being here. Have a great evening. Thank you all.
Everybody. Stay safe.
Thank you, guys. See you Thursday.